Take a shot every time that I say spooky in this video. That can be your little fun fall drinking game. Is just take a shot every time I say spooky. That counted, by the way. Take a shot. So I decided to do a list of Halloween media that I think are good. And I decided that I would follow in good old Jenny's footsteps. I would follow in good old Jenny's footsteps and make it into a little friendly numbered list, starting at the bottom, and we'll go up from there. However, things that are at the bottom does not mean that I like them a lot less. Well, that is what that means. But what I mean by that is all of these things are good. I would give all of these things, like, good ratings. I like to watch these when it's the spooky season and I'm in the spooky mood, evident by my spooky hat and spooky cape. So we're gonna start at the bottom, and we're gonna work our way up. So from number 10 of, like, least spooky to number 1 of most spooky thing that I like to watch on Halloween spooky times. So, number 10, we have Casper Meets Wendy.
Are you really a witch?
Yeah, what of it?
No one knows about this movie except for me and my boyfriend. Like, we are the only two people that I have ever met that remember this stupid movie. Casper Meets Wendy is about Casper, the friendly ghost, and he goes on this vacation with his shitty uncles, and he meets Wendy, a friendly little witch, and she's also on vacation. Well, she's not on vacation. She's on the run with her aunts, and they decide to hide out in the same hotel resort that Casper's shitty uncles are at. And they become friends, and then they try to hook up the aunt and the uncles together so that they can, like, stay friends. It's a wild time. But it's very cute, it's very charming. I really, really like it. It's fun. Like, in terms of, like, a good movie, it's like a solid 6 out of 10. It's got all that 90s humor. A lot of, like, I don't want to call it misogyny, but there's a lot of, like, groping of women. The women fight back, but it's still a little iffy. But it's a good movie. Just ignore all of that. Just look at how cute Casper and Wendy are together. They're so cute. I love them so much. Number 9. Wait, you can't see my hands. Number 9. The Addams Family. Pretty obvious choice. It's the Addams Family. Like, come on, man. It's always a good time. I like watching the Addams Family. I think it's a fun little movie for all the family. Even though I think that living with the Addams Family would be the scariest experience of my life. Like, they are spooky. You can't deny that they're spooky. But they're also, they don't care about human life. Like, if you die, they're just kind of like, well, have fun in the afterlife, and then they move on with their lives, and they don't even give a crap that you just died on their front doorstep because your evil plant ate them. They're like, well, at least the plant got fed. It's like, what are you talking about? Someone just died, but they don't care because they're spooky. Death means nothing to them, which I can respect, but also,
That poor girl, Lurch. Was she in there before you baked?
C'est la vie!
But the movie, if you just divorce yourself from the fact that they don't give a fuck about human life, I love it. I love the Addams Family. I think it's a fun time. I like the whole mystery surrounding them, the mystery, like it's actually a mystery surrounding Gomez's brother. Yeah, also, Morticia Addams, call me. Listen, I know your husband is, like, the best thing ever, but listen, call me. I can't be as good as Gomez. I'll never be Gomez, but I can bark. Number 8, Monster House. Monster House is a movie that exists that would appear all the time on, it was either Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. I can't remember. I think it was Cartoon Network. And it would appear all the time on Cartoon Network around the spooky season. And it's about these, like, 3 kids, and they want to solve the mystery of the creepy house across from the main kid. I forgot his name. Sorry, I'm not going to look it up either. He wants to solve the mystery because he and this old guy who lived in that house, who, like, got sent to the hospital via heart attack one day when he was yelling at some kids to get off his lawn. He just keels over from a heart attack, and the house is left empty. And so the kid is like, I know that there's something spooky going on in that house, and I want to know. I'm going to solve the spook. And so he and his best friend and this Girl Scout who he just befriends one day while his babysitter is babysitting him. They all 3 of them go to the house to try and solve this mystery of this spooky house that's been, like, I don't know, it's a spooky house. You gotta solve the mystery of the spooky house. This list sucks so bad. No one's gonna watch this video. It's fine. Just keep it in, Joe. Just keep it in. I'm pretty sure it was written by the same guys who wrote Rick and Morty, or at least one of them. I'll put it like right here. It was written by this guy. Number 7, our first, but not our last, Disney original. I tried limiting myself on Disney originals because if I allowed myself to use more than, like, 2 Disney originals, the entire list would just be Disney original Halloween movies, because we all know that in terms of spooky Halloween movies, Disney does a pretty good job, especially, like, the old ones, like number 7, Twitches. I love Twitches so much. I don't know what it is about them. Maybe it's because I'm, like, in love with, like, celestial pattern type stuff, and so I was like, well, one of the girls is the moon and the other girl is the sun, and I liked that a lot. Or maybe it's because one of the girls she, like, draws these really cool, intricate pictures of, like, the future. Spoilers, they're witches, like, come on, man. The other girl, like, journals, and she journals the future. Like, they both have future powers for some reason, but one of them journals and one of them draws, and it's very, very fun time. They, like, meet at a sale that's going on because one of the sisters is, like, super rich and the other one is poor, and her mom died. Her, like, adoptive mom died. And she's living with, like, her best friend or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's her best friend, or maybe it's her aunt. I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember any of these movies, actually. I just remember that I liked watching them as a kid, as a wee one. These were, like, my favorite movies to watch during the spooky season, because it's the spooky season. Come on, man, you gotta watch spooky stuff. I hate horror. Horror movies suck. I hate horror movies so much, because I don't like being scared. But I do like being spooked. I like a general nice blanket of spookiness. I like going to pumpkin patches, and I like going in corn mazes, and I'm like, oh my god, what if there's, like, a ghost here? And there's never ghosts, because ghosts don't exist. But it's like, what if there was ghost? And so I like the what if, and I like movies and TV shows that are like, but what if? So, but what if? Number 6, Spooky Scary Skeletons, the song by the Living Tombstones. I got you thinking that this was, like, a movie only list, but you're wrong. It's actually just movies and media in general that I think are good for you to watch during the spooky season. And I really like the song Spooky Scary Skeletons. It is everywhere. It was everywhere whenever I was little. Just every season, Spooky Scary Skeletons. Tumblr had, like, a absolute blast with this song. Just spooky scary skeletons everywhere. Skeleton armies, skeleton memes. Just so much skeleton stuff. A skeleton won the Sexy Man contest. Skeletons are, like, everyone's favorite thing for some reason, even though it's just bones. It's just bones. But Spooky Scary Skeletons is a good song. I love the song. You should listen to it. It's very, very good. Very peak. Very good. Number 5. We're getting into the top 5. top 5 movies or media, you don't know, that I think you should watch. Number 5, Scary Godmother. Now, I don't remember what channel this played on, but it would play all the time, like, all the time on one of the channels, like Disney, Nickelodeon, or Cartoon Network. It was one of those. I want to say, again, it was Cartoon Network, because Cartoon Network had, like, the best cartoons. Like, Disney had the sitcoms, Cartoon Network had the cartoons, and Nickelodeon had, like, what did Nickelodeon do? It did Avatar, so that was pretty good. You know, it did Avatar. Its only claim, I guess it also did SpongeBob. It did SpongeBob and Avatar. Those are the two claims to fame that Nickelodeon has. It slimed people. Is that something we want to count as a thing that Nickelodeon? It slimed people. It covered them in goo. I don't think that counts for much, though. But Scary Godmother is this movie about a little girl and her, I think it's like her older friends, or she has like a brother who, I think it's just her friends. I think it was just she just has some older friends, I guess, who are forced to bring her along to trick-or-treating, and they decide that they want to scare her, and so they send her into this haunted house to be scared, and she's freaked out because she's like 5, so obviously she's freaked out, but because she's all freaked out, her scary godmother comes down to help her, and her scary godmother, the voice actor for the scary godmother, is like putting her entire soul into this performance. It is amazing.
I like the sound of booing. Boo-hoo. Hoo. Hannah Marie. Say hello to your scary godmother.
So the scary godmother takes the little girl, I don't know any of these characters' names. She takes the little girl to the other haunted world, the haunted house, the spooky world, the Halloween world. I don't know what it was called. And she meets all these monsters, and they have like a monster dance party. And the movie ends with like a big monster mash dance party. And I really liked it. The vampires are not nice looking. They're kind of weird. They have like these like weird little hunched necks. And I hated that. I hated that so much. I don't know why they decided that was a good idea, but that's what they did. But whenever I was little, I shipped that vampire boy and the girl so hard. I thought they were so cute. I think they're just besties, but little me was like, oh my god, they're gonna get married one day. They didn't, because they're children. And he's a vampire child forever. I don't know how the vampire aging works in that movie. I'm thinking too much. I'm putting too much thought into this. Watch Scary Godmother. It's a fun spooky time. It's just full of fun gags. The eyes are weird. Just ignore them. Just ignore how weird the eyes are, and you'll be fine. Trust me. Just watch this movie. It's very good. Number 4, we have our final Disney Halloween movie. I wanted to call it a DCOM. We have our final Disney Halloween movie, and it's Halloween Town 4. I got you. I don't know. I feel like I heard that Halloween Town 4 is like the worst movie. They're wrong. They are absolutely wrong. Halloween Town 4 is the best Halloween Town movie. And maybe I'm biased, and I'm probably biased, but I really liked that she went to a spooky witch college. I liked that there was a magic amulet. I liked that there was time travel. I liked that her brother, who I thought was hot, because I like nerds apparently, I liked everything about that. I liked the genie character. I thought she was fun. I liked all of the characters. I liked every moment of that movie. It's so good. It's my favorite Halloween. Like, Halloween Town 1, yes, it's a classic. It's the original. Halloween Town 2, I forgot which of the Halloween Towns were what. I'm pretty sure Halloween Town 2 was Calabar's Revenge. Also, good movie. Decent movie. I liked it. It was fine. Halloween Town 3, I didn't care about. It was like they went to high school or something. I cared so little about the high school aspect. But The college movie. The college one was so fun to me. Her dress at the very end. I'll try and find clips for all of this. So good. I love Halloween Town 4. It is the best Halloween Town. And if you are mad, you can just stay mad. I don't care. Halloween Town 4 is the best movie. Okay, number 3. The third best Halloween movie to get you in the spook mood. And it's going to be Coraline. Like, come on, it's Coraline. You can't say. Like, it's a tie between Coraline and Paranorman. So let's say that. Number 3 is a tie, Coraline and Paranorman, because I didn't want to put one higher than the other, because they're about the same general spookiness. Paranorman is about a little boy who can see ghosts, and his goal in the movie is that he has to put a witch to sleep so that he has to solve a witch's curse, basically. And he has to do it with the help of his new friend, who is very adorable. They're very cute. I love the two of them. They're good friends. They needed each other. It was very cute to see their relationship grow. And I love his bratty older sister, who has hips that are thicker than a Snicker for some reason. I guess the producers were just kind of like, we need to exaggerate her body. Let's just give her the widest Pixar mom hips that we can possibly give her. So I love her. I love his bratty teen sister. I thought she was very fun. I thought her crush on the other boy's older brother, was very funny, especially if you know the end of the movie, which I'm not going to tell you. It's not a twist. It's not really like a, oh my god, plot twist, but it's still very fun. If you haven't seen Paranorman, you will find it hysterical. Unless you're an asshole, in which then you probably won't find it hysterical. But I did, because I'm not an asshole. So I love Paranorman. Paranorman is so good. I love Laika animation in general. I should make a video about Laika Studios, because Laika Studios is just so fun to me. Everything made by Laika, that even if you think it looks spooky, it is the perfect spooky movie. Coraline, Paranorman, Corpse Bride. Nightmare Before Christmas I don't think was made by Laika, but it was made like in tandem with, I don't know, like Laika was a help on, I don't know, I feel like Laika was involved in the production of Nightmare Before Christmas. Very spooky movies, good spooky movies. I know Nightmare Before Christmas is like a Christmas movie. I don't care. It's got skeletons in it, so it's spooky. Skeletons equal spooky, is what I've learned. So those 4 movies are all very spooky. Now Coraline is Coraline. Like, if you haven't seen Coraline, how have you not seen Coraline? Unless you're like 5 years old watching this video, then you've seen or heard of Coraline. Coraline is about a little girl who moves to a new house, and she's bored, and her parents are busy, so they don't have time to spend with her. So Coraline goes and finds a little door that leads her to another dimension that has an other mother that tries to like help her and be fun, and it's like a fun, cool world. But then she finds out a dark secret about the other mother and the other world, and there's a talking black cat in it, and I love him. His voice is unreasonably deep, and I love that stupid little mangy cat. Good movie, 10 out of 10 movie. Watch Coraline, watch Paranorman. Very spooky movies for the spooky seasons. Now, number 2. Not a movie, however, it is a piece of media that you can watch, and it is Over the Garden Wall. Yes, Over the Garden Wall is on this list. Who's surprised? It's Over the Garden Wall. How can it not be on this list? Over the Garden Wall was a fever dream experience, because I think it only played one time on on Cartoon Network. It played one time on Cartoon Network, and then it never played again. And then you had to like watch HBO Max or something to watch the rest of it. And it's like, why did they do it like that? It was like you had to be there type media. However, I have watched Over the Garden Wall. It's on Amazon. I bought it. Yes, I bought Over the Garden Wall on Amazon. Over the Garden Wall is about 2 brothers who are trying to get home, and they are traveling through this forest filled with these wonderful, weird creatures that either try to help them or hinder them on their way of getting home, and it's a limited series, and they're being hunted by this thing called the Beast, which lives in the forest and hunts lost souls, and these boys are very, very lost, and it's so good. It's so pretty, too. Like, if nothing else, watch it for the animation, because it's just peak fall vibes. It's got the leaves falling from the trees, it's got turkeys, it's got, like, this really nice muted autumn color palette, like all reds and browns and, like, nice deep blues. It's so pretty. The music, especially, just everything about this show makes me want to watch Over the Garden Wall. I'm probably gonna watch it after this video because I'm in the mood to watch Over the Garden Wall. The number one spooky Halloween media, Bratz Sleepover Adventure.
Bratz Kids Sleepover Adventure with Sasha, Chloe, Yasmin, Jade. They're the kids with a passion for fun.
Yeah, didn't see that coming now, did you? Whenever I was little, I couldn't watch horror movies, and I still don't like watching horror movies, but Bratz Sleepover Adventure gave me nightmares. I don't know why, but it did. Bratz Sleepover Adventure is about the 4 Bratz characters, and they go over to this little girl's house as for a sleepover, and it's like a fun time. They do sleepover things, but then when it's time to go to sleep, they tell scary stories to each other, and the poor girl whose house that they decided to just sleep over at is like, I don't want you guys to tell scary stories. I'm scared of scary stories. And they're like, don't be such a pussy, bitch. And so they tell stories to each other, and each of the little stories are like scary stories. They're not scary. Let me just put that clear right now. The scariest story on the list is probably like the last story. I forgot who told it, but no, there's 2 pretty scary stories. One is about a doppelganger, and that one was pretty freaky, actually. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And the other one was about just monsters in general. Monsters on a roller coaster. It's monsters at an amusement park. No, wait. Okay, I am remembering these stories as I'm telling it. There's actually only 2 stories that aren't that scary, but there are 3 stories that are pretty freaky, honestly. Like, they're not scary, but they're kind of like mind screwy. Like, they kind of screw with your mind, and you're like, oh, you just gotta imagine that you put yourself in their situation. Like, if that happened to you, you'd be kind of scared. You'd be pretty spooked. And I thought about that whenever I watch those movies. I'm like, well, what if it was me who had a doppelganger and it spooked me? And so I cried watching. I built like a little barrier around my bed using pillows because I was so scared that like the monsters were gonna come get me. So if you like Bratz, just watch Bratz Sleepover Adventure. It's my favorite Bratz movie, and I should buy the DVD again because I miss watching it. Watch Bratz Sleepover Adventure. It's very fun. It's very very spooky. Alright. That was my list. That was all 10 of the media. However, now we have... So, the reason why these didn't make the list is it's literally just because I wanted to put 10 in the title of my video, but, like, I wanted to have, like, a top 10 Halloween media, but I have more things to talk about, but there's only like 2-3 of them, so it's not really that big a deal. So number 1, this is not any particular order, by the way. This isn't like a least to most. This is literally just the rest of the stuff that I like. So we got Hotel Transylvania, which is not a good movie. I have to say that right now. It's not a good movie. It's kind of a bad movie, but it's a fun movie. I like it. It's a very fun movie for me, because I like vampires. But I don't like murder vampires. But I also don't like Twilight vampires. My favorite vampires are somewhere in between Twilight vampire and murder vampire. Like, I want that level of, like, sexy romance to it, but I also want them to be able to kill, but I don't want them to be over dramatic. about the killing. Vampire Diaries is a pretty good vampire. It's just that the show itself is garbage. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go watch Jenny Nicholson's video on the Vampire Diaries. She did like the whole thing, and you'll see. If you still think that show is good, or you still want to watch it after her video, I commend you. You like better. You are a bigger person than I am. So Hotel Transylvania is just a fun movie. Fun movie with spooky vampire Mavis, who is a babe. Number 2, we have Pop Tropica Vampire Island. Yeah. Do y'all remember Pop Tropica? That point and click. I don't think it was a point and click, but it was like a platformer click game where you would be a little avatar and you'd go to different islands and solve the little island mysteries. Vampire Island, you have to solve the mystery of the vampire on the island, and it was a fun little spooky time. I liked it a lot. It was I miss Pop Tropica. Petition to get Pop Tropica back up and running. Like, it's still running, but all of the islands are gone. So I'm making a petition. Sign my petition. I'm not gonna make a petition. Number 3, we got Goosebumps. I can't pick one Goosebump book because I like them all, but if you actually want a more interactive time, then you should do the Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure books. Okay. You should do the Goosebumps. Is this good? This is my thumbnail now. The Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure stories. These were my favorite as a child. I read this one, the Genie one, religiously. Like, I went through every single ending multiple times. I've read every single page of that book. Like, I could probably read that book front to back, and I would know exactly what was going on. It was a time. It was definitely a time that I had. Now, are Goosebumps written well? They're Goosebumps. They're meant for babies. So, no, they're a little immature. They're a little straightforward. However, they are very spooky, and it's a very good time. And you should read, just read all of Goosebumps. It's fun. Or you can watch, again, I forgot what her name was. I'll put it right here. You should watch this channel. She does, like, drunk readings of all the Goosebump books, and it's a hell of a time. I love watching. I've binged, like, half of her videos. My favorite one is, obviously, Vampire's Breath. Very good story. Very fun time. I love the characters. I think they're cute. So, we've discovered that I like vampires. That's the takeaway from this video, is anything that has a vampire media, any vampire media, just watch that. It'll be good time. So, yes, that was my list. Thank you for coming to my video. No one's gonna watch this.